Let's play a game. So, I got mind cards, daily cards for a more fulfilling life, and I'm gonna shuffle them. And then I'm going to pull just random card, and I will read what's on there, and then I tell you how this could actually stress you out and what to do instead. Okay, it says kindness. What does it say? Bake cookies or a cake for friend, family member, or neighbor. Not only will they appreciate the gesture, but it is also a good opportunity to try out new recipes. Now, if you immediately said, "Oh my gosh, I am such a bad baker and a cook and all of that," it's all about the gesture. There was a research done. It says if you feel depressed, if you don't feel good about yourself, hopeless, all those negative emotions, you need to go and volunteer your time, your talents, anything that you can help other people. And the research showed that it works both ways. Definitely, we all know it's so nice to have something from someone, a compliment, a talent, a product, a service, flower, any attention. We all love that. So it works for both people because the person that is receiving, they're loving that, but also it works well for the person who's giving that out. Now, if you are not a people person and you think, I don't really want to do that, this is immediately making me so stressed, that's okay. You don't have to deal with people. How about if you will go and to our animal shelter? There are plenty of dogs and cats that you can go and pet them. I know my friend has a daughter who they go every weekend to pet some cats. I think that's good for you and for the cats, obviously, and for the people who work in that environment that need people like you. So it's all about giving to other people, but also you need to give it to yourself. What is that you give to yourself? Ask yourself every single day. And you may have a problem with this, especially that has to do giving to yourself, because if you grew up in an environment where love, it was really about serving, about being less, and you not being validated at all, when you're being told that you're nobody and your opinion don't matter, all of this, that's mean you are not really getting a lot of warmth and appreciation and everything that you need. Probably not even physical touch either. So you need to pay attention. How do you behave with yourself? How much love do you give yourself? I learned that if we grow up in the environment where people are not really loving towards each other and love just kind of equal pain, this is how you behave with yourself. This is how much of love you're giving into yourself. The pain. I learned that there was a research done, and it says you talk to yourself how your parents, your authorities were talking to you when you were growing up. That's scary because that was the moment when I realized, oh my gosh, I am talking to myself like my parents. I'm constantly scolding myself. I'm telling myself I'm not enough. So naturally, for me, to love someone and appreciate them was actually just talking down to them and telling them how useless they are. And then I realized this is how I talk to myself. That is this inner critic that everybody talks about. Don't listen to the inner critic voice. Well, who else are you going to listen to? Especially if you grew up in that kind of environment where your needs didn't matter, how you felt did not matter, when you are constantly gaslighted because somebody else knows better what you need. No, you're not cold. No, you're not hungry. No, you're not in pain. And shut up and sit down. Nobody cares what you have to say. You may have difficulty for actually finding something that you can give to yourself because you naturally never got anything that you were happy with. So how can you give this to yourself? You can't. And it can be that you have difficulty of giving something to other people. And you probably heard the saying, treat others as you want to be treated. I totally disagree with that because we're all different. We all have different needs. So you cannot just assume that the other person also love getting cookies and cakes, right? Like the card that just pulled. You need to know what the other person knows. I mean, what they want. You need to ask them, communicate. And, like just saying, you're going to a shelter and you're walking there, you just don't start just petting cats, right? You will say, hey, I'm here. What is it you need? It's very important to communicate. And then when they tell you what you can do about that, then you go on and then you do things. And, it may be daunting of thinking, well, I don't know how that's going to look like. That is this critical voice inside of you telling you that you are little, you worthless, you should be staying on the ground over there and never get your head up. So it may take courage for you to actually stand up and give yourself what you really want to give. And that takes maybe time. But also, how about if you just take little steps? Just say, you know what, I'm just gonna call today and see what kind of shelters out there. Or I will go and see in my church whether there are any volunteering opportunities there. And then I will make my decision, will I go there or not? You see, it's all about controlling the situation. When you feel that you can control the situation, this is when you stress less, because you give yourself that opportunity to decide what you're going to do and then say, you know what, I can change my mind and not go at all. Just like that. Allow yourself the opportunity to pull back and say, I will decide when I get there. When I wake up, then I decide what I want to do. And just do that. And what will happen also, you will gain more trust with yourself. So trusting with yourself is very important because you will know what to do in the future. If something stressful will come along, you can rely on yourself. It's very important to have your back. Do not abandon yourself, especially, like I said, if you grew up in an environment where you're constantly being put down. So it's time for you to stand up. It's time for you to decide what you want to do just to make you happy, and go out there and find that place where you can be useful. Because especially if you grew up in an environment where you are just not enough for who you are, you may grow up on this idea that you need to be useful. Because if you are not useful, you will be discarded. This means you will not be fed and hence you die. Sadly, but that's not even I created that idea. And we bring this into our adult life, and then we continuously pleasing others. We are bulldozing ourselves into something that we don't want to do. And then we ask ourselves, why are we so stressed out, burnt out, and unhappy? It is because you're not listening to yourself. You're not being there and honoring your own needs. So it's time for you to decide right now and leave me a comment below and tell me, what is that you think you can do that you can give to yourself or you can give to other person. And for yourself, it's easier, but it could be also more complicated. And if you need help with that, decide, get more clear on your habits about, your stress management and burnout, and you need help, definitely can talk with a therapist. But also, you can book a session with me, and I'll be very happy to lead you through all my calm process. And if you're wondering, what is that? Calm stands for C, control, A, appreciate, L, limit, M, multiply. And I have a link below where you can go and get the whole module where it explains how to go through my calm process step by step with videos and worksheets free of charge. I'm doing this specially because I think we all need a lot of help right now, and all of this in the description below. And if you know a person who can benefit from this video, forward that video to them. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so.